Alright, you guys, I am back again. This is KJ. This is like take 3 of this video. So hopefully I can get this one out. Anyway, this is Married to Medicine Season 2, Episode 1. I'm sorry, Season 2, Episode 2. So the episode starts off with Quad at Lisa Nicole's house, and Quad actually looks quite skinny in her outfit. But anyway, Lisa Nicole is a friend of Quad's for years. Their husbands are friends and everything. So she's a business owner and a fashion designer, and they were just over in the boutique talking and everything about the clothes and everything and what they had on, how both of them looked so good, girl this and girl that. So anyway, enter Dwight from Real Housewives of Atlanta. Now, Lisa Nicole and Dwight are business partners. Yeah. So Lisa Nicole asked Dwight why didn't he come to the event with her, which was the event that was at Dr. Heavenly's house. Oh, my hair is pent up. So she asked about why he didn't come to the event with her and everything. So they started talking about the event. Quad was throwing a lot of shade. They were talking about the event and Mariah's outfit. Like, Quad was saying that she would never in her life wear that outfit. And her, in my opinion, the outfit was not the greatest. I really didn't like it myself, but hey, to each his own. Quad talks about finding clothes for her dog and high-end couture clothes. And she was just saying that um, they actually are entertaining it, her, Dwight, and this Lisa Nicole chick. And so they're she's like, oh, the clothes that the dogs have nowadays are so boring, like Dr. Jackie. So she threw some shade there. So Dwight and Lisa Nicole are going to actually help Claude with getting her dog clothing line off the ground. And she was just, they were still talking about the event and everything. And she said, Mariah's feathers is what it looks like when doves cry. And it's just stupid. She just crazy. And I hate that they are not friends anymore, but we're going to get to the root of that, I'm sure, during that season. So Dr. Simone and Dr. Jackie talking, they meet up, and they talk about the event as well, at Dr. Heavenly's event. Dr. Simone is really just pissed about the way that Dr. Heavenly treated them, and she wanted to be able to enjoy the event. Dr. Simone asked Dr. Jackie if she could if she had brought up the baby subject to her husband, and she recommended basically to her that she never bring it up. Like, you should never just go ahead and bring it up because, y'all had already talked about that disorder under the bridge. Y'all moved on, so just never bring it up. So they start talking about the event again, and she talks about how Dr. Jackie talks about how Dr. Heavenly's energy, and she was just angry and humiliated, and because they both were kind of acting out. So Dr. Simone says she was just more so pissed than anything because of what happened and how Toya brought up the situation at the party. So Jackie wants to go ahead and meet up with Dr. Heavenly and have a talk. And Simone asked, will she be on her meds? Like, if she's not taking her antipsychotics, not medicated, I won't be there. So that was really funny. She recommended calling Toya actually before calling Dr. Heavenly because Toya had accused her of actually being disrespectful and gyrating on her husband. So she feels like she was just really just dancing and having a good time like everybody else, and she don't understand what was so wrong about it. Dr. Jackie tells her she needs to just release all of this anger because she's pissed about Dr. Heavenly, and then she's pissed about Toya. And she kind of made a joke like, what are you teaching your kids about forgiveness? Because Dr. Simone is like, I ain't trying to forgive these bitches. Fuck them. So we move on to Dr. Simone left the life of an OBGYN and having to get up really early and to deliver a baby and everything like that. So then we move on to Toya and her husband not out exercising, and they live in like a neighborhood under construction. So they're in the process of buying a house in a gated community. She made sure to point that out. He said something about her getting a job, and she takes it like she never heard of such. But I don't understand. Did Toya come from money? Because I'm not really sure if she came from money or not. So in the event, she acts like that was just out of the question because she's a mom and she just thinks that she prefers to just be a housewife basically, and she does a lot being a housewife, which I get that. And he just wanted her to feel fulfilled because he himself would feel cooped up if it was for him. So She definitely didn't have any understanding for what he was saying, but he seemed to be a very understanding guy. It sounds like he knew how to communicate way better than she does. I don't really like Toya, y'all. I am not a fan of Toya. Heavenly's house, we at with the kids, sitting at the table, her and her daughter, which is too cute, by the way. She's an 8-year-old, just really cute and sassy. And Dr. Heavenly has 3 kids. The girl is, she's real sassy. And she said, women can't, Dr. Heavenly actually made the statement. She said, women cannot be in a position of power. We have to lead from the back. Okay, so now Dr. Heavenly has officially kind of lost me. She was okay the first episode. This episode, she done threw me with that comment, seriously, because I don't know about that. I totally disagree. And anyway, it's to each his own. But she read an article to her kids about women with big butts are smarter. And her husband did say that she shouldn't be talking about that right now with them in the room. But Dr. Heavenly just kept going. And then she made a point to talk about Dr. Jackie being a size 2 and that bigger can be more healthier than just as or just as healthy as someone small. So she talked about when she used to be fat, and her kids said some of her kids remember that time, some of them didn't. So yeah, so she basically just wanted to make that point, I guess, that you can be healthy either way. So we go on to Dr. Simone in the office working, and she gets a call from Toya wanting to stop by and talk. And she said, I'm at work right now. She said, but we can meet up tomorrow. And she kind of says, well, okay, we'll meet with Toya tomorrow. And she rolled her eyes when she hung up the phone with Toya because, she was like, we definitely need to talk because this shit needs to come to an end. So in Dr. Jackie's office, so basically they're just showing the ladies like, doctor mode, basically. So they do show that. And I definitely do like how they show the ladies doing work and being in doctor mode and actually, being the doctors that they are. Mariah and her husband talking about the event and how she said, so everybody finally called Jackie out about her comments on people's weight, and she was just telling him everything, how the kind of drama was going on, and she felt Heavenly would have even more drama effect within the group because it's already drama going on, and she's kind of just bringing in a little bit more. But then she break into some random conversation about her husband going bald, which nobody cares about or nobody want to talk about. So anyway, we move on to Dr. Jackie asking herself about date night to win her husband over to basically talking about having the baby talk. And they suggest pole dancing in a strip club and all that stuff. So it was funny, Dr. J was talking about the strip club and Dr. Jackie, they were saying Dr. Jackie give out cars. So it was funny. So Dr. Jackie shows up at her husband's job or court or whatever it is, and they play a little bit of love and basketball, and she got a little picnic set up for him and all that stuff. And she was just asking him, talking to, so the baby topic, comes up. She said she wanted to revisit it. So basically, he was like, he thought it was a closed topic for them, and they just like right now it's not really a good option for them at this time because they don't really have time for it. And she says like she'll cut back and blah blah blah. And he was like he don't really have any faith in that. She's not gonna stop. She's gonna try to keep going, and she's concerned about her health too. So basically, he kind of shut it down with, I'm not feeling it right now, and it's a stretch for me to even consider this, but, whatever, I think about it. So she is kind of irritated, and I can understand, but, if it was something that y'all had already discussed, and it was a dead conversation, then why bring it up now? This looks like it is straight sticking up on the top of my head. Alright, so anyway, so we get Dr. Simone is at home with the kids in her scrubs. Yeah. So Quad comes out over with her dogs, and Dr. Simone says that she has fun whenever she's with Quad, and Quad is hilarious, and so she even talks about delivering Quad's baby if her and Greg ever got pregnant. And so Quad basically says Greg's baby talk is basically coming in more frequently, and she feel like he might set her up. Now that's just crazy to say about your husband. Like he might set you up, he's gonna poke holes in the condom like they say women do. Really? Whatever. So Dr. Simone's not, tells her that, Quad tells her that she's not using protection right now. She's just using timing by when she's ovulating, and Dr. Simone is looking at her with the screw face like, what? Huh? So she's trying to get some birth control without, information about getting birth control. And then she want to know how she can get it, and him not know what kind of birth control can she be on without him knowing. So basically, she trying to trick him, just like she's trying to trick her. She thinks she's trying to trick her. So yeah, it's crazy that they're married. I think they only been married for maybe a year, and they already into this. So we'll see how that goes. But anyway, so Dr. Simone is like tripping that why would you not want to tell him this is definitely something that you should share with him, being on birth control, that's your husband. And he want to have kids. So kind of inconsiderate, but hey. So anyway, we move on to Toya coming over to Dr. Simone's house basically to have the conversation that they were supposed to have about the situation. And she's outside playing basketball in the driveway, and they take a stroll and start talking about it. And they had a good time in the bowling alley, and she was just talking about how Toya says she feels like she did enough when she put her hand up between Eugene and Dr. Simone. And Dr. Simone feels like, okay, she get it. That was, she took, okay, she upset about that. But she never really acknowledged, okay, I took it too far. I apologize. I know you was upset. I'm sorry you felt that way. I'm sorry this. I'm sorry that. She didn't really go into that. She was just like, okay, I get it. You was upset. Okay, let's move on. But Toya is irritated because she is not taking, acknowledging that she was upset and apologizing for it as her friend. So Dr. Simone, on the other hand, feels like Toya brought it up in the wrong place at the wrong time at the dinner party, Dr. Heavenly's, and it was just wrong to bring it up at that time if she had issues. So Toya and Simone are just arguing back and forth, and she was like, you could have called, Simone was like, you could have called me or kind of us. Toya was like, she shouldn't have to because they should be friends. So Dr. Simone basically just shut it down and just like, go ahead and go. I gotta go get in your car and drive away. And she got in her car and drove away. So she basically just drove off on Toya, so they had no resolution of it. Now, my honest opinion, y'all, Dr. Simone was kind of wrong for that, especially if the girl had to put her hand up. I get it. Toya, I just don't like Toya, so I don't really even have nothing to say about it, about her stance on it. But I don't like Toya. So, yeah, and I feel bad for Dr. Jackie because, her husband's kind of shut it down, the baby talking. I just feel bad about that, for her. But all in all, it was a good episode. Oh, I did want to just touch on Real Housewives of Atlanta real quick. The Watch What's Happening live episode that came on after the show with Nene 101 with Andy, and she really just said a lot of stuff. Y'all need to go ahead and check it out. But she did go over a lot of things about the show and the reunion, and she didn't condone violence, but she felt like Portia was being kind of pushed and pushed and pushed and pushed until she just kind of snapped. And she was just saying that you can't keep poking at somebody before, they just blow up. So she felt like that. And also they asked, she was throwing a lot of shade at Cynthia because Cynthia is supposed to be her friend, but they kind of fell out the show. She's like, the show air, they tape it, they have feelings. The show aired, these feelings resurfaced. She said, so when the show aired and the feelings resurfaced about the whole bitch coming, she said she didn't call her and Cynthia didn't call her. This is after the airing, even though they had already squashed it when they were taping it after the airing, when the old feelings resurfaced, they stopped talking. So on the reunion, when the reunion time came to actually record it, Cynthia was kind of just like, not really on this, just not really the same Cynthia. So Nene said. They asked her about who she wanted to see off the show, and she didn't really answer. She kind of gave general statements, but the general statements that she did give, Andy said, so you're talking about Cynthia. So Nene was just like, I'm not talking about anybody in particular, but since you brought her up, and then she started talking about how Cynthia has the same storyline and over again. So Cynthia's, Nene's general statements were, the person who has the same storylines over and over again, or, something that's never changing about them, girl, bye. So she did acknowledge that Cynthia do have pretty much her same storyline. I personally think Peter is keeping Cynthia on show because Peter is the one that steps up and says something to whomever, whatever, which is why everybody got a problem with him being in the women's business. But I feel like he's keeping them on the show. So yes, Cynthia, I agree. You need to step it up. Anyway, yeah, it was really good. So y'all go check that out. She also mentioned Marlo and Sheree, so check it out. Also, I do want to thank you guys for watching my channel, and please like the video, subscribe to my channel, and comment. Yeah, and let us know what you guys think. In the meantime, I will be back later today for what I'm gonna be back for. Later today, I'll be back for Black Ink. Yeah, Black Ink is coming on. That's the only thing I review on today, but I do watch a lot of other shows today. But I'll be reviewing Black Ink later today. So also I will be reviewing R&B Divas. It's coming, I think, on the 26th. R&B Divas Atlanta. It's coming this month. I don't know if it's the 23rd or 26th, but I'll be reviewing that. So look forward to watching that. And I think that's it. Alright, so thank you so much, you guys, and have a good one. Peace.